Hey Saab people, in today's video, I'm going to take you inside the story and progression of my $200 2009 9.3 all-wheel drive Aero. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Javen, but you guys probably know me as Solving Saab. Let me start from the beginning. My dad and I were both daily driving 2008 Saab 9.3 Aero all-wheel drives. His was an automatic, mine was a manual. We liked to convoy for fun. Dad needed an extra set of 17-inch rims for winter tires. Unfortunately, between all the Saabs we had at the time, we didn't have any extra 17-inch rims available for his car. A local shop we regularly did business with had a set of rims. Turns out the rims were sitting on an all-wheel drive car, an 09 Aero. The customer had given the shop the car because they couldn't diagnose the issue. They said it probably had bad injectors or a bad fuel pump or a bad engine, but they weren't sure and they were sick of spending time on it. My dad was really only interested in the wheels off of the car, but they landed on a deal for $200 cash and trading back a remote control airplane he had purchased from the shop owner a couple of years before. I basically learned not only was the car an all-wheel drive 2.8, this was also a manual car. For those of you that don't know, this is a pretty decent rarity. On July 15th of 2021, I posted this video on the channel. Hey Saab people, I know it's been a while since I've made a video, so this is going to be an update. My dad and I had officially bought and brought home our 5th cross-wheel drive Saab. This was our 2nd manual vehicle on the lot. I couldn't be any more excited to have another project. But broken, rusty, missing parts, full of trouble codes, and covered carpet to headliner in dog hair and trash, this rig needed a ton of love. Immediately I got to work. All the fuses under the hood were missing, I replaced them. The car now ran and drove, but clearly misfired very badly. This was probably what they had a hard time diagnosing. Knowing these cars well, I started off by putting on new coils and spark plugs. That's just pretty basic maintenance, especially for the mileage that this car had. The car now ran like a top. No injector, fuel pump, or engine issues. Unfortunately, I lost all that footage because trying to clear space on my phone enough to make a copy of the video to edit, I accidentally deleted all the footage. I started a small string of videos on the car after this, repairing each issue as it came up. Originally, the plan was to convert the car to all black, and the car was going to be called Project Vader for my dad. Things got busy in college, and my dad was in no rush because he had just purchased his automatic Saab quite recently. As a broke college student, money got tight. I tossed and turned about what to do. I had a realization that my current gray Saab contained a regular limited slip differential. This meaning that the 09 that we just picked up would have a better cornering advantage because it was electronic limited slip. This kind of got the gears turning. The 08 car was also well modified and would probably do well on the market. Used cars were going up in value, especially these Saabs as they were becoming more rare. So I made a difficult decision and sold my daily driving Saab, the 2008, for about $7,000. I had enough money to finish off college, and I had enough money to build the 09 however I wanted, and goodness knows I had been window shopping for a long time. So I converted the car all back to one color so it didn't look so funny. I did have to have a black front bumper and a black trunk because those were smashed in. I cleaned up the nasty interior, threw in my nice 80,000 mile cream leather seats. Ahead of time, I had ordered up all brand new DO88 piping because at the time I was convinced they were the best cooling solution. I ordered Vermont Tuning Stage 2 Plus, which I'd been eyeballing for years. It came with bigger injectors, slightly modified turbo, which I'm still loving. I also took it upon myself at this time to install a fresh clutch kit because the car was having engagement issues. I took the opportunity while the transmission was out to do the genuine Saab stainless downpipe and midpipe. I was absolutely in love with this car. It was everything I had dreamed, just a little bit uglier. But I was ready to remedy that. I decided to spend that summer working at a body shop as an intern. They taught me everything I needed to know from basic body work all the way up to painting. I had hoped to paint the car, but didn't end up having the time that summer. College was starting up very soon, and soon after, winter came. I was really glad I didn't have the time to paint the car. My dreams were crushed. I was on my way home from school for a winter break to fix my traction control issues when I hit glare ice and I crashed around a corner going less than 20 miles an hour. The traction control and ABS were disabled due to a bad wheel bearing. Instead of a simple wheel bearing repair, I spent the next couple of weeks getting the car back into just a plain operating condition. I was determined to get it all done that night, and I had buttoned it up really well over the course of about 5 hours, but unfortunately on my way out the driveway, I realized that the crash had also bent in the power steering rack, so turning all the way left was going straight. Things that I had to repair: my intercooler, radiator, were bent. I chopped my AC lines, sliced my serpentine belt in half, not to mention the entire body around was crumpled, and I smashed some headlights too. When I was done, the car was still the car. It had been a sleeper for some time, but now it really looked even worse than before. I was pretty embarrassed to be driving it. Getting into the summer, I graduated automotive technical school with my associate's degree, and I was right at the top of my class. I decided to take the summer off so that I could have the opportunity to paint the car before going back to school and getting my bachelor's degree in business. I had been planning on painting the car for a while, as you can tell, so I had a color all picked out. I wanted a nice, decent gray, but Nardo was too common in the tuner car world, so I looked at a lot of great cars and decided on Ford Stealth Gray because I liked the way that it looked on the Ford Focus RS. It took roughly 47 8-hour days to get everything just right with little to no assistance. I had doors from the other parts cars, a genuine Griffin bumper that I had purchased for my last vehicle and never put on, and I had a Hirsch style spoiler that I had been saving. I also picked up an anniversary edition, it was an '07. Seats were in mint condition and the gray inserts on the inside would match the color perfectly. The car had a nice glow up, and for the first time in a long time, I was proud to be driving it. Time went on, I graduated school, and the rest underneath continued to progress as I got into my first professional job. The car really started sounding like a helicopter now. It had odd idling issues. Turns out after some diagnosis, the dual mass flywheel was broken. I did some research, got some suggestions from the community, and I decided to go with a twin disc clutch kit. There's a lot of twin disc clutch kits on the market for these. Most of them wear out pretty quickly. I found CG Motorsports in England. They made me a twin disc daily rated clutch kit with a matched single mass flywheel. It took about 5 weeks of lead time for them to produce the product, and it took about 2 weeks to ship it from England. Knowing that the parts were going to take a long time to come in, I took it upon myself to start a 4-month-long weekend-based undercar restoration. I used a Raptor bedliner undercoating under the whole car after sandblasting and rust deactivating every inch of the undercarriage. I really wanted to go the extra mile with this project. I put all brand new custom-made copper nickel brake lines from front to back, stainless braided flex lines to the calipers. I also handmade gas tank straps out of stainless steel. When everything was all said and done, I would have to bleed the new clutch, so I decided to put on a brand new stainless bleeder from ZZP Performance and a braided line from genuine Saab that was also made of stainless, because I was absolutely sick of the system randomly having the line popping off and getting brake fluid all over the place. I also did custom copper nickel rear differential lines to the ELSD clutch pack on the back of the rear differential. The stock ones had exploded when I was doing a pull leaving a car meet. I did a battery box relocation to reduce the heat soak in the engine bay, and the car drove great. But I really felt like the power could deliver to the ground a bit better. So I did some research and I invested in a Racing Diffs rear clutch pack kit. This would rebuild the ELSD clutch pack on the back of the rear differential, and this is specific to the ELSD rear diff type. This will make the differential bite harder and torque will transfer faster in the rear. I was now on my second to third drive shaft on this car. At this time, I also did some major legwork and got a distributor to create me a one-off custom racing drive shaft. This would eliminate any drivetrain slop, U-joint shuttering, anything of that nature because it had stiffer bushings, not to mention that this custom shaft would have all completely serviceable components. Anything that ever broke on this current drive shaft would only cost me $50 in the future to repair. So I saw it as a good investment, unlike the $1,200 if you can find them drive shafts that were a 12-week lead time from Sweden. If you're interested in a custom drive shaft, please message my Instagram down below and get in contact with me and we'll set something up. At this point, I had done everything I could think of on the car except for dressing up underneath the hood. So I found some goodies online to make things look a little better. I installed an original logo map-tuned strut bar, a genuine Saab stainless coolant tank, and I installed a Forge Motorsport turbo blanket. Some time has passed now and the car sits right around the 450 horsepower mark. It turbo flutters like crazy, and it's a lot of fun to drive, but it's starting to feel slower. I don't know if this is because I'm getting used to the speed, or maybe it's just because the tuner kit is getting a little old and I've been beating the shit out of it for so long. It's really hard to say, but I'm ready to move forward and make some new changes. Soon I'll be doing forged rods, which I've purchased off Edson Pouchie on YouTube. Highly recommend checking out his channel. I plan on doing a big turbo setup once the rods are done, and I'm also going to do an Audi R8 coil pack conversion. As you can tell, I've put a ton of work and personal stake into this car, and I absolutely love it. I don't regret a single thing about this build. Like I said, it's cross-wheel drive, it's electronic limited slip differential, 6-speed manual, and it makes 450 horsepower. You can't beat those kind of numbers with $200 down and about $8,000 to $9,000 in mods. Let me know what you think of the car. Are you impressed with the progression? What do you think I could have changed? What do you think I should do going forward? Let me know. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one.